Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the week of October 18th. Now Virgo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Virgo, I do not do personal readings, so if you get a DM from somebody, that is not me, that is somebody impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. I also do daily content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. If this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button so other people can see the video. Subscribe for future updates and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. See what we have here for you, Virgo. All right. Make sure everything is in view. All right, I think that looks good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the King of Swords. So this is somebody who is this idea of like law and order. This is somebody who's going to give you a fair shot. This is somebody who will not take an emotional interest in you, but rather help you get from point A to point B. It's sort of like an authority figure or a leadership energy in the tarot. And it is somebody who is quite successful in business. And so some of you may be looking at that right now. Some of you may be dealing with a mentor or a, really what I should say is a boss figure. And I definitely do see that we have masculine energy here on the board, which, remember, it does not matter what gender you are. These are masculine and feminine energies. We have three kings here. And so taking on some sort of quality, some sort of like masculine energy at this time could help you. Some of you are potentially dealing with a boss figure that's maybe challenging at work, or if you're here for love, although there are not a ton of love messages, it could mean that you're dealing with like a Libra or somebody who's in a position of authority or something like that going on here. But taking a look right away in the middle, you have the Nine of Swords. So this is somebody who is having a nightmare, okay? They are staying up late at night, they're anxious, they're ruminating, and they're kind of going through a challenge right now with this Nine of Swords. However, this card is all about saying that, you know what, fears right now could be preventing you from moving forward, from being the fullest expression of yourself, because this person really thinks that these swords are going to come down and hit them, but in reality they don't. And so it's all about like fear casting. And the thing is, none of this stuff has happened yet, okay? It's just in the mind. When nightmares happen, it's about some sort of information that's coming through the subconscious, right? And you might want to pay attention to dreams and anything like that at this time to help you through something. But I do see you potentially being anxious here at this time. And just know that things will get better. Your future column looks very good. You are dealing with some sort of challenge right now, Virgo. There's no question about it here in this current column. We'll get into it more as we go along. In the past, you have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the King of Cups. So Six of Swords here, what's been on your mind recently is some type of transition or some type of movement forward. You've been hoping to get in your boat, take your things with you, and move to a new place, sail to a new shoreline, and meet new people, see new things. This is sort of represents a rite of passage. You could have recently decided to travel, or you've been thinking about travel, or just making a big move in some area of your life here recently, with this energy showing up. Now, others of you, you have this, well, really, it's the same here. You have this Eight of Wands. You have two travel cards here in the past, both potentially indicating long distance, maybe travel overseas, something like that going on here. There could be an issue of travel that's been on your mind recently. But if that's not the case, this Eight of Wands is some sort of quick moving event that brings about good news. This could indicate communication, socializing with other people. It's a really nice card, the Eight of Wands. It's like the feeling of getting unstuck or getting out of the mud or just moving forward with something here in your life. So definitely like to see that for you. With that Eight of Wands, you also have this King of Cups here, which is somebody who is compassionate. They sort of lead from that area, they lead from that place. This is somebody who's also sitting in water. And what I want to point out here is in other interpretations of the card, this is not only on the Six of Swords, but also in the King of Cups interpretation, it's choppy water, indicating that there could be challenges here ahead. And what's really going to help you forward with this is to take on the energy of the King of Cups, which is to make level-headed decisions in the face of emotional upheavals. And that's what I feel like maybe is going on here. The waters are choppy right now for some of you, and you just know that you will get through this and you have everything you need to work through that, okay? So in the current situation, you have the Death card, the Nine of Swords, and the Tower. Now I'm going to start off with this Death card because it's the most misinterpreted, most misunderstood card in the tarot. This is actually, when you really get into it, one of the more positive cards that you can pull. Reason being is the Death card is transformations, okay? This card comes after the stagnancy of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is number 12, this is number 13. And what this says is you're not going to be the Hanged Man anymore. You're moving forward. You're deciding to take control of your life and make a transformation towards something new. And so with that, it's making a new start for yourself. And yeah, the Death card can imply upheavals, but that's sometimes a part of the path. I'm not saying that this is, 100% guarantee. You have free will to change any part of this reading that you want. So as I always say in the beginning, take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, especially when you get something like this in the middle. But more importantly, you've been thinking about making transformations here. No doubt about it. With the Six of Swords and the Death card in the upper row, which is the row of your thoughts next to each other, you've been thinking about change. And the thing is, in this lower row, in the subconscious, here, what you can't see or the hidden, you have the Tower. This is an upheaval. And the thing that I like to say about this Tower is this is actually a blessing in disguise because it exposes an illusion. And who wants to live in an illusion, right? Who wants to live in a house of cards? Nobody actually wants to do that. And so the Tower, yeah, it's a sort of awakening, if you will. It's a sort of unexpected situation that happens. And the thing about the Tower is it always leads you to the star. And it can be a revelation. That's why I feel like there's something here in the subconscious brewing with the Nine of Swords in the Tower where you're like, okay, this has happened, now I'm going to make a change. And I do see you making that change in a positive way because in the future you have the Four of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. So again, we have this other king. We have this Four of Wands. Now let's go ahead and start with this. This is the Marriage card in the tarot. This is ceremonies. It's also in business and career situations like foundations and achievements, anything like that. So for some of you, it's like you are realizing that it's either some of you are realizing that it's important to lay down a foundation for yourself if you have not already, and for others of you, you're realizing that you have a foundation to sit on as you go through this Tower moment. You're being shaken down to your foundation, but the foundation still exists. And either way, it's not a bad thing. You have this King of Wands and this Queen of Cups. So this King of Wands, these are like pretty much opposite energies, fire and water. You could be balancing out those sides of yourself, balancing out the emotion, the fire. But this King of Wands is the entrepreneur. It is the most passionate person in the room. It is somebody who just lives their life on their terms. And, they always do what they want to do, especially as it relates to business situations. And so for some of you, you could be deciding the transformation you're making is moving away from what you used to do. This Queen of Cups suggests, you also hear, this suggests that you should have compassion for yourself and take care of yourself as you go along this journey. But you also have this counterparts here with the King and the Queen of Cups. There could be a transformation going on in a relationship with the Tower in between. But let's go ahead and start to clarify. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, drop a comment to let me know what you think, and maybe share this with a friend who would be interested. I also really appreciate your time, Virgo. Thank you for being here. And check out my website to sign up for my email list. There's a link to that in the description below. It'll be the first thing you see on the website. So let's see what else we have here for you, Virgo. Let's pull some oracle cards here. Okay, so you have Mary Magdalene, teacher, awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. Okay, Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. I love that card. It's the most abundant card in this Oracle deck. And then you also here have Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace, share your gifts with grace, waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. It's all going to work out. The look, the Tower and the Death card may be literally opening up these pathways here with this Lord Ganesh. You know, at the end of the day, if things are not going well, people are not responding to you in the way that you feel like they should, you can always ask for spiritual help. You can always reach up and ask for your guides' help, whether that's the universe or God or your angels, whatever it is that you believe in. You have take action, don't stop. Definitely like to see that. And I think we're going to pull these two. Get more information and choose a new direction. Some of you want something new here, okay? And I feel like you're in this information gathering stage where it's like you're not just jumping. It's like, I don't know, in your mind with the Six of Swords and the Death card, you really just want to get right into it. But I also feel like you're realizing that this needs to be met with some information gathering as well here. But there's some sort of new direction that you really want to be starting here for a lot of you. Let's see what else we have. Okay, you have the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the World. Very nice. So, Ace of Pentacles is some sort of new financial situation happening or a material situation happening. With the Six of Swords, what this could indicate is that you are traveling to a new location, because remember, this is earthly material things, such as the place that you live, homes, real estate, apartments, condos, anything like that. So for some of you, you're transitioning to a new start in the material realm. This could come with new money with the Ace of Pentacles, but it could also mean that you're just moving to a new place. For yourself, some of you are really contemplating travel. You have 3 travel cards here in the past with the World, the Eight of Wands here, and the Six of Swords there. So some of you really wanting this new start is like in a new place or in a new location. The World is a very nice card. It's the completion of a cycle. It says you've gone through the entire hero's journey and now you're given some sort of reward or success or victory or something like that. And so for you, it's like keep moving forward. Four of Swords, take time to rest. Okay, you're healing, you're recovering from the Three of Swords, which is on the banner here. With the Eight of Wands, quick recovery happening here with the Eight of Wands underneath. So some of you really moving ahead here. Let's see what else. Love that. Ace of Wands, double aces next to each other. New beginnings arriving. Okay, the Queen of Cups here and the Justice card. So I have to say the Queen of Cups has been the star of the show this week in my readings, and I think the previous week as well. That card has been showing up so much in these readings. And, you know, I feel like right now as a collective, and especially for you, Virgo, with this reading here, it's time to do something for yourself. If you need rest with the Four of Swords and the Queen of Cups next to each other, you should do that. You should absolutely do that. If you need to call on support, whether that's a therapist, because the Queen of Cups is a therapist, or a trusted friend or ally, then you should do that. Okay, there's something here that you may need to just look at, be honest with yourself about. You have this Justice card as well. With the Tower, ultimately you're getting the outcome you deserve. You will realize, you will understand the karma associated with this. You will understand what happened when this happens and why it needed to happen. And for you, it's like, I think it's probably going to be pretty good because you have this Ace of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles next to each other. You have my self-employment combination here with the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands, perhaps moving on to something for yourself here, doing something yourself here and starting a new enterprise. Any enterprise started under the Ace of Wands is typically a good thing. Some sort of passionate new beginning coming in. Okay, we have the Tower again, Nine of Cups, and the Death card again. Wow. So to get the Tower and the Death card twice in one reading means there's big things happening. Okay, there are big things happening. But what I really want to point out here and drive home is that you have that Nine of Cups in between the Death card and the Tower card. Okay, so the Nine of Cups is one of the best cards in the tarot as far as I'm concerned. It's one of the most positive cards. It's dreams coming true. It's fulfillments of wishes. And you have that with the King of Wands. Are some of you interested in being an entrepreneur? Are some of you interested in starting a business or doing a side hustle or doing a new career? Some of you, that's a dream that you've wanted for a long time, and here it is. And for some, this is not always the case for everybody, but for some people and for some, in some instances, you have to be shaken to your core to see what you want. And that's what this Death card and this Tower card to me is showing you. Ultimately, it's positive. And ultimately, this is probably something you've wanted for a long time with the Justice card showing up. And so if you have not established a foundation, that's going to come into view here for you in the future here with the Tower. It could also just be signifying that you do have a foundation, okay? There is an illusion potentially being exposed, so it's either one of the two of those things, or there's something new coming in, okay? But remember, throughout all of this, we have double aces next to each other. We have the Nine of Cups and the World, completions of cycles. And with that, wishes coming true. So do keep that in mind. You have expectation, thoughts, courtship, courthouse, distant horizons, message. Some of you, that people's in a marriage, or it's a legal situation, because you have justice with courthouse, and the Four of Wands indicating marriage, some maybe a divorce, but it could also just be a general legal situation that you're dealing with here. And the King of Swords, which is also like a legal card, getting a word or a message around that. I don't know. There, with courtship, it's like that's marriage or something like that. I feel like the health of a marriage or a situation is not what you thought it was. And that's going to be some sort of sudden revelation here. Keep your thoughts positive. Take a look at the dreams that are coming in. Your subconscious realm is very important, and it's giving you some sort of message. But you also here have this Distant Horizons card, which is positive situations in the future. 3 to 6 months from now, things will all work out. Could be any time, but that's the timeline associated with that card. But all right, thank you so much for being here. Really grateful to the people donating down below. Thank you so much for your support. Check out my website, zaneintuitive.com. Consider liking and sharing this video, and I'll see you in the next one.